listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Last time we had seen how to create suppliers. Today we'll talk about how to get supplier voices. And then we'll see. I think we did create suppliers. I'm not sure, but I just have to look at like the notes last time what we did. Where are my notes? Let me see. We did not create the supplier voice at all. We just had set up suppliers, set up categories, purchase item. That's all great. Let's talk about creating a supplier voice for that. We'll see the supplier voice BP first. We'll go to BP. Supplier voice. We'll look at the default definition. If you look at here, we have initiation step, then the first step. Second step was to eliminate entry specialists. Then if it is an intractable lines, then we go to business asset accountant. Then the next step would be initiating asset registration event automatically from invoice. And the third last step would be assign counting information from invoice. This is the B. P. Let's see the security policy of it. We have create supply invoice adjustment and then we have create supplier invoice also. These people can do then web services like EIB, submit supplier invoice, create invoice from purchase order, create supplier invoice from purchase order, create supply invoice from receipt also. You can see that along with this standalone task of creating supply invoice, you can also create supply invoice from purchase orders also, that from receipt also. You can review supplier invoice, review track order invoice lines, create receipt for purchase order or supplier invoice. Then you can view all view completed, only approve ad hoc, approve direct, all those things. Pretty straightforward now. We'll just say create supplier invoice. Business process is done by the implementation team or the people who are working on the creating the invoices. Implementation is done by the implementation team initially. After that, like if you want to modify anything, then it's like the customer side. But the first time it's done by the implementation team. The way I'm looking, I will not have to do this if I'm just doing some entries. No, you don't have to do this. It will be already configured. This is what we are doing. This is what you would be doing as an end user. I'm just now only mostly interested in end user. That's fine. To companies. PGP Blinkit. What was our supplier? Now we are getting a small alert that the ledger period is not open for this one. Maybe it's showing that to the ledger period this transaction. If you don't select a very ledger period, the transaction will be posted first to the ledger period to get the status. Before that, let's quickly check if we have opened the general period or not for Blinkit. We'll just say Blinkit mass update ledger period status. That should be 2023, the standard of fiscal year. We have to check our company's standard year. This is slightly confusing. Let's go to our BGC. Let's see the schedule. What's the name of? They never created the fiscal year 2023 strange. Let's create it. Create next fiscal year. Let's go to our BGC. Oh, it's not if it is there. But first one, only 3. Are you able to see it somewhere? They just named it like, see how fully people are there in this world. We are like, we are not Rahul. I wish I was Rahul. Hey, no. Everything in life, you will all get this soon. Once you start practice, it will be there for you also. I really tell you, I am not able to get it because I don't know. My mindset is not there, I think. That's That's what it's like once you start putting focus and putting more and more transition. Because I'm into implementation consulting, I have 4 projects to handle. That's why initially, when I started career, like even same thing was with me also. I was not aware about the task and everything. But slowly and gradually all things came now. But there's still a lot of things to learn in Workday only. Now the good part is, that's fine, that's open for us. Now it's saying I have to do one more thing now. Here we have found out. But if it is saying that it's not open, that's what is in the list. Let's look at the status as general. Now we have found out that it is not open. That's what is in the list now. It's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list now. It's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. Now it's saying that it is not open. That's what is in the list. What is going on? This is one of the richer profiles. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Concise is recognized through that with main not. And why is the current not coming? This is because the proxy policy, like somebody has a terribly fixed proxy policy here, but we do not have time to fix it. Otherwise, we would have done that. Because we are more focused on our transactions and tasks rather than fixing this. People who do practice here. Because remember, like a lot of people are doing practice. That's why, and that's why. This time it should work. Now that we see couple things, this is what our company is also using. Well, you have no thumbs. Hmm, hmm, hmm. I think this was the one. This is the one that we are using. Then what's wrong here? Why you will not show my company here? Why only Vogue? No, doesn't matter. We'll use Vogue only for let's see. Don't wanna waste time here seeing stuff. Let's spend time for that. Then this one, let's say Vogue. Oh my. It will have created many works here. This is also company. This is amazing. Let's go ahead with our thing only. We will be this unit. We'll be seen. And the supply, remember supply. It was what? Let's say BGC, let's say BGC. Let's say BGC Fox Industries, LinkedIn. Great. Then this was the payment term that we said, like if the rate is 25 days, but if we pay within like 20 days, we get 2% discount here. This is the address. This is the invoice date. Let's forget about this one for now. Invoice receipt date. The supplier would have sent you the invoice, the PDF copy. You have to mention that invoice date here. We'll say that was the 15th only. And the total amount, let's say 1500. If any freight and other charges were included, then you can put that here. Otherwise, skip it. Then override payment type. The payment default payment type. How will pay? The supplier is checked. But if you want to pay by cash or something, then you can mention here also. Cash, direct debit, all those things. Default tax code that we had used was 4%. You can get rid of this. Then if it's on hold, the supplier's invoice is on hold for XYZ reason that you can see on hold here, make invoice ineligible for payment. It won't come in the settlement. Then supplier document receipt. Yes, if you're putting the date here, it means you have received the PDF copy here. Supplier PDF copy would have their number on it. You just mention that number here. The external PO number. If any PO number was mentioned here, then on the supplier invoice, you can mention the same PO number here. If any other reference invoice is there, like all the invoices created for the supplier and company, you can mention that reference invoice number here. Security invoice type along with your supply invoice types. You need to put some other invoice type for certain countries, like in Europe. I don't know the exact name, but they need sometimes a different invoice number also. Invoice. For that also, you can put the details here. Supplier contract. We have not passed that now. We'll see it quickly. Then approver. Who would be approving this like overall? Who approved this transaction functionally? You can mention that. Otherwise, leave it. Then we have defaulted this item, Blinkit security card payments dispensing the supplier. You just bring your cursor here and you will see. A supplier invoice lines are cancelled, charged, changed or deleted related to business assets impact accounting. If the supplier invoice line is first removed from the asset cost, then the accounting is secured. I'll talk about accounting with that. We'll see later on. Let's just go towards the hand side, check the metrics. Those things looks fine. And one query costs 50 here, but control rule amount is 1500 here. Either you can change the quantity here, like if you say 30 here, it will become 1500, or directly convert the amount here. And the cost center, we can say facilities. Region, we can say India. Anything. Any additional work that if you want to add, if nothing is there, you can hit submit here. Your request is being processed. Why you're taking much time? Let's wait for a few seconds here. Let's wait, notify me later. Come on. Oh, it's slow today. Find supply invoices. Figured out our invoice. With the save find supply invoices. And find supply invoices, we go to BGG. The invoice never got created. I was suspecting this only. Let's wait again. Exchange. Supply was also box industry. And blah 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 blah. In was the CP. Let's put 15th only. Control to remote is at 1500 here. Then we said the plate document received noise number blah blah here. We got rid of text code here. And we saw the details here. Then we made it a here. And I believe the control to remote is also 1500. Yes, fine here. And then we can change the tier. And that will change the region. Pass into a blanket. A region will say EMEA. Let's say this is for EMEA. And will sound. Let's see what's going on with that. And these have been saved, but where is my noise? Odds, some payments invoices single invoice. All you see is it because we have not approved it? No, system is doing something like it's like this slow head Monday maybe. Oh my goodness. Anyways, smart people do not waste time. We'll not waste time here. We'll see something else. In the meantime, it's doing that. In the meantime, we'll see the purchase order. But when we come back to all this, or no? Because how will you? Obviously, there is no. The planning was the core thing. We need to have it. Let's, in the meantime, what we'll do, let's let we get. We give like 5 to 6 minutes to let it refresh or something, what it wants to do. In the meantime, we'll just see the purchase order and requisition BP. At least we'll be familiarized with the purchase order BP and requisition BP and the contract BP also. And then we can do that transition also. Why to waste time here? We'll say the BP. We will come back to this for sure. We cannot leave it like this, but just order. Purchase order is something like you want something in bulk and then you send it to the like supplier for saying that this is your items and goods we need and you have to deliver these items within many days and all those things. Click with the purchase order. Both of you will just see the BP security policy here. Why do we waste time? Will not waste time. It's very important because anyhow we have to do this. We have to go through this purchase order BP. Why do we? Purchase order, submit purchase order, create purchase order and sub-service. You can see paid purchase from supplier contract also. That's good. Paid contract compliance. These people can do. Supply order, collaboration, review purchase order, create receipt for purchase order, approve, correct and deny all users. That's fine. Then you have a receipt. Let's see the receipt BP. At least we'll see this time. We'll see the receipt. Receipt 2 we have 8 steps, which is great. If time is not able to receive, we'll go to finance manager, not finance manager, not finance manager. We'll see if it's received or over received. It will go to purchase order buyer. And then based on these steps, it will go to business asset account and all those people. Now after receipt, we'll just see one more, which is requisition. Requisition is, do you know requisitions? Simply like if you see in your companies, whenever you need some like notepads, stationery or even laptops, there is a person who normally get it to you. If you need some kind of, laptops and all those things, there's a buyer who goes and, buy the things for you on behalf of the company. Basically, the question even starts and how it ends is like by the supply group. First, you create a requisition, then the buyer will buy. Send this, review the details requested by you. Then somebody from the procurement, the higher side, will approve it. Then we'll create a purchase order. We'll send the purchase order to the supplier. The supplier will send the item to us. We'll create a receipt. Then, after getting a receipt, the supplier will send the invoice. Then we'll create our invoice, the system also, and after getting invoice, we'll pay the supplier. And that's how the procurement cycle ends. Requisition just 1 DB here. Now we'll look at the supplier contract also, because that's also we have to cover. Supply contract event. Initiation. That's one step here, which is good. If you look at the policy here, before you go back to you create a supply contract, submit a supply contract. There is a supply contract we all completed. And it will approve all the seats. In the meantime, now let's go back and see if anything is happening for our company. We got our invoice or not. Let's put it like even for clean also. It's not there. We will see one thing. Something may be wrong from the implementer side. We will do one thing, default definition. Policy. Who can do this? APT entry specialist. Let's assign it to Logan. V2B. And we will assign the APJT entry specialist to Villarobas, 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 Logomia. Now let's start boxing. Boxing followed by here USSC VGC. Suppliers Fox Industries. Let's quickly get rid of few things here. Fingers crossed. And what's the same date? That should be 50 only. We are fine with that. You need a call center. We put a call center here. Yes, it's somewhat issue with that term. Great. Finally, we have our accounting invoice here. And it's unpaid now because we just created it in invoice and there was only one step. It got approved also, which is good. It will be the process history. This is what it is. And if we look at the accounting here, it has it to expense account and accounts payable here. Clear with this one, this part now. Great. What we'll do, we'll quickly create at least 5, 6 invoices because that will need 4 adjustments or so. I'll just copy this invoice supply, invoice copy. I'll just change the number here because it won't. Let us submit this one. What else we should do? This time let's put tax code also. Let's go to the tax code training. India also, that's fine. India went 4% that we can do. And the Juliet override. Let's say tomorrow is the Juliet for this one. And this will need a cost center. It's already there. Link it. I think there's some latency at the back end of work. Different will come over this. Or changes have been said, but they never. Now it is not. Create this. How's first inverse is there, but I think there's some issue at the servers or something because we are trying. And sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working. Not sure what the issue is. That 1500 invoices there or not there? No, 1500 is not there. It is 50, which we just created before this. There's only one invoice for this. There's some latency at the back end, which we don't know. Why the service? This also got submitted. We got 2 invoices now. There's some network issue only. Let's create one more. At least we'll see one adjustment of debit and one credit. At least 2 invoices are required. Keeping amount as 50, only we can change it. We can change it. Never mind. We can always change it. We can make it like 2 further also. Let's create one more. You can go from here only. Supply invoice. After this, we'll have 6 classes left, a few topics to cover, which we'll do for sure. Let it submit. We got one error about the invoice number, I believe. Let's change it. Let's save it. Now we got a few noises here. Let's go back to our invoices. We got like 4 invoices, which is good. Now, with this 25,000, we will create an invoice adjustment here, just like at the customer side. We did that something happened. We may be paying less, we may be paying high. To the supplier, we'll say, go to this supply invoice and create adjustment. Adjustment reason, let's say damaged goods. Supplier delivered damaged goods to us. Now increased liability is at our end that we, because we are liable to pay more, we are liable to pay to supplier. If you're increasing liability, it means we want to pay more to the supplier. But it's a damaged good. It means we'll be paying less to the supplier. We'll say decrease liability, we'll select it and we'll hit save and continue. And this is, we'll get rid of this text. Payment terms here is fine. Let's see how much we're paying less. We'll say 1,000, we'll say 24,000 now. We have done that. Now, if you see this adjustment here, it's their reference invoices here. which we just the original invoice. This is the adjustment invoice number. And it's like supply number is 50, adjustment number is 50 here, invoice number is 50. Now, if you look at the original invoice here, this is invoice number is 30 here. Total invoice number is 25,000 here. But we do have an adjustment here, which later on will change the amount here. If you look at the overall amount of supplier, go to supplier and this is the balance sheet. What happened is we said 24,000 here means we are paying only 1,000 that supply. The invoice amount was 25,000. We said we are increasing the liability by 24,000. There's only 1,000 amount left here. That's why 1,000 along with this, if you see here invoices and payments, and there's a way also to check some reports also. If you go to, I'll show you where you can do that under related reports. Related reports, go there and you see payable, aging or open items. Open items will show all the open invoices that you have to pay. Click on open items here. And you click on agency here. And it's 50 and the 24,000 was this one. If you add up this amount, 50, 100 here, and 4,000 here. 4,000 was deducted. Then it becomes 500 here automatically. You can see the calculation here also. Simple calculation showing up here how it became 5,100. Now let's use some other invoice. Let's say this one. Now we'll click adjustment again. This time will increase. That will pay like 50 rupees extra or $50 extra to the suppliers. That's now remember the balance is 5,100. We'll just say price adjustment like we were being something extra here. Increase liability. We'll select this save and continue. And here also we'll do same thing. We'll just say it was 100. We'll make it 200 here. From 50, we are going on 50 extra for this one. Now, if you look at the supplier, this is adjustment is fine. But if you want to go back to the supplier and now see the total balances, because we have changed it to 200, see the balance has also got changed to 5,300. Clear on this functionality. Also, it automatically updates the balance of the supplier to the customer as per the transaction you do. You don't have to worry about it. And if you look at the accounting of your adjustment here, let's see the accounting of this 2-1. That was the adjustment. What if you increase the price? There's an error here. Let's see. Not sure what is the error here, but I can definitely see 2 leather accounts here. 2 lines only and 2 leather accounts. Not sure what's wrong here. But if you see, got debit to expense account and credit to accounts payment. That is fine. It was 150 and we added 150 more. That's why it became 200. That's what you say. The balance was 50 only. We said no, we are not paying 50 to the supply. We are paying 200. That's why. And if you see the adjustment invoice, it will show us the rewards. Correct? That is true. Now let me think of some other examples here for you. Let's see some text examples also. What if we add the text? It's a straightforward example, like they will just calculate the text on the overall amount. I'll just copy this invoice. Just see some numbers here and calculate the vertex option. Either you can end the text to the supplier, calculate self, assess text, and text to the supplier. If you say this and you say default text code by company country, plant a 4% here. Text amount, because we are using Android text to the supplier yourself, only if you say 500 here, and let's see what happens. And I've changed the amount to 5,000 here. Let's see what happens. It will throw an error that enter won't move line text, except you need moist line also. Line level you also need to add because this we kept blank here. We'll say input VAT. And this details will be already there in the supply, which is you just need to eat these details. For this one, let's submit. Let's see, it allows us now. It says no. Enter won't move line. Text uploaded on invoice with text amount. This text I pretty much will text with non-recoverable and allocate non-recoverable text. We'll get rid of this. We'll get the same calculation for this text. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@uptalk.com.